Good morning, everyone. My name is Pranay. I'm from CSM Section C, AIML. Yeah, today is object-oriented programming. My subject in my subject object-oriented programming, my topic is hype in software and its consequences and mitigations. And let me explain. The hype in software. Hype in the software domain refers to the intense excitement, anticipation, and often exaggerated expectations surrounding new technologies, tools, or software products. This buzz is usually generated before the technology has matured or proven its real world value. Rapid innovation cycles. Software evolves at a time lightning pace compared to many other industries, pushing companies to continuously innovate and market their latest products. Competitive market environment. Intense competition leads to the companies creating buzz to capture attention users and market share them quickly. Complexity and novelty. Emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, and cloud computing are complex and often not fully understood by the end users, creating fertile ground for hype. High expectations. Stakeholders, users, investors, and developers often expect software to solve complex problems seamlessly, sometimes ignoring the realistic development challenges. And the cause of hype software market pressure. Competitive pressure to innovate quickly. The software industry is characterized by rapid advancements and a strong desire to be first to market. Companies face enormous pressure to announce or launch innovative products rapidly. Sometimes before these products are fully ready, this pressure can be generated hype around unproven technology or futures. Startups and MVPs, minimum viable products. Many startups prioritize releasing a MVP to attract new customers, to attract the customers, to attract the industrialists, and to attract many people to increase their software demand and to increase their software product purchase amount or purchase percent rapidly for their benefit. Next, and investors. With this approach fosters innovation. It can also lead to hyped promises about what the product can do, promises can do, and that MVP may not even yet fulfill. Market differentiation. In crowded market, example productivity tools, cloud platforms, a company use hype to differentiate their software. Catchy slogans and bold claims are used to convince potential customers and patents that their solution is unique and superior. Fear of being left behind. When competitors announce new features or technologies, company may feel compelled to jump on the bandwagon if the technology is immature. To avoid losing market relevance, this behavior add to the hype cycle. Hype and media and marketing. The role of tech media. So the role of tech media is the technology journalists and bloggers often amplify hype by publishing the optimistic and sometimes sensationalization stories about new software trends or products. Headlines may emphasize potentials while looking over limitations or challenges. Marketing role in exaggeration. Marketing teams are incentivized to highlight the best and the exciting aspects of software, sometimes leading to the overpower or glossing over shortcomings. Buzzwords like disruptive, revolutionary, AI powered, and blockchain enabled are frequently used to generate excitement. Technical jargon and buzzwords. The use of complex terminology can create an aura of innovation and sophistication, making products seem more advanced or capable than they actually are. This can confuse non-technical stakeholders and magnify hype. Viral marketing and hype campaigns. Coordinated marketing campaigns leveraging social media and influencer endorsements can spread hype. Early testimonials and hype videos contribute to a bandwagon effect, increasing pressure on other to adopt quickly. Consequences of marketing driven hype. User form inflated expectations. Decision makers may invest resources based on the hype rather than the realistic assessment. When the product falls short, trust in the company or technology erodes. The cause of hype. FOMO and social media amplification. Fear of missing out. FOMO. In the fast-paced software industry, both users and developers feel pressure to adopt the latest tools and trends immediately to stay relevant. This fear of being left behind encourages rapid, sometimes uncritical adoption of hype technologies. Social media as a hype accelerator. Platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, and tech forums spread information at the unprecedented speed. Exciting announcements or rumors can go viral, often without vetting or critical analysis. Viral trends and echo chambers. Popular software trends can create echo chambers where enthusiasm is amplified like minded communities drowning up skepticism. This herd mentality intensifies hype cycles. Cause of hype: venture capital influence, investor pressure for rapid growth. Venture capitalists often push startups to prioritize fast user acquisition, hype building, and media attention to increase valuations quickly. This can encourage a company to hype their product before they are fully mature or tested. Valuation over product readiness. Sometimes the narrative around a product future potentials become more than current functionality. This emphasis on potential fuels hype or technology that is yet not proven. Risk of finding bubbles. Over enthusiastic funding driven by hype can create bubbles. Large amount of capital is chasing trendy software solutions which may collapse when the hype fades or product fails to deliver. Consequences of hype: unrealistic expectations, mismatch between expectations and reality. Hype sets user and stakeholder expectations too high, often expecting software to deliver perfect solution instantly. When the product fails to meet these expectations, disappointment follows. Impact on users and business. Business may adopt hyper software expecting it to revolutionize operations, but face struggles integrating immature or incomplete technology. This can create to wasted time, money, and effort. Loss of trust and reputation. When hype fails to materialize into value, users lose trust not only in the specific product but sometimes in the entire company or technology. Consequences of hype: poor product quality, rushed development cycles. Hype does not forces companies to accelerate product launches to meet market expectations or investor demands, leading to the sufficient testing and incomplete features. Accumulation of technical debt. Speed over quality results in the shortcuts in the code architecture and documentation, causing long-term maintenance challenges. Security vulnerabilities. Hasty releases may overlook security best practices, exposing users risk and damaging reputations. Cause of hype: disillusionment and backlash. The hype cycle. Gartner's hype cycle model shows inflated expectations eventually leading to a trough of disillusionment when reality fails to meet hype. Loss of confidence. Stakeholders, users, investors, developers lose faith in the technology or company, sometimes abandoning promised projects prematurely. Consequences of hype-based researchers. Financial causes: the companies and users may invest heavily in the software or infrastructure that proves impractical or obsolete. Time and effort. Team may waste months integrating, learning, or customizing software that ultimately fails to deliver. Opportunity cost too much opportunity, and the cost technologies the opportunities who were waiting for the opportunity, their opportunity successfully wasted. Consequence of hype: market saturation and confusion. Flood of similar products. Hype attracts numerous startups and companies offering the variations of same hot technology, saturating the market. Customer confusion. Buyers struggle to distinguish quality products from inferior or premature offerings. Fragmented ecosystems. Incompatible or competing standards emerge, complicating adoption and integration. Consequences of hype: impact on innovation, focuses on trends over substance. Companies may prioritize chasing the hype to secure funding or market attention rather than developing deep, lasting innovations. Short-term thinking, emphasize on quickly wins, undermines invest in forth research and robust engineering. Innovation stagnation. When the hype cycle dominates, genuinely transformative ideas may be overlooked if they don't fit the current trend. Mitigations: the transparent communication, honest marketing, clearly communicate both capabilities and current limitations of software products to avoid over promising. Realistic roadmaps and milestones, share achievable timelines and incredible goals to users and investors to build trust. User education, provide clear documentation, tutorials, and frequently asked questions that set accurate expectations. Benefits: builds credibility, reduce user frustration, and fosters long-term relationships. Mitigations: incremental and sustainable innovation, focuses on continuous improvement, develop software through regular updates and refinement rather than pushing big bang releases. Avoid hype driven resolutions or revolutions, emphasize steady progress addressing real user needs and technical debt. Mitigations: critical media and analysts role, balanced reporting. Media and analysts should present both opportunities and risk of new technologies, avoiding hype-only narratives. Skeptical analysis investigate claims through thoroughly, highlight technical and market challenges, educating the audience, provide context, historical comparisons, and realistic assessments. Mitigations, education of users and developers, build a realistic understanding, teach about software development life cycles, limitations, and challenges to temper expectations, promote critical thinking, encourage questioning of bold claims, and require evidence before adoption. Community knowledge sharing, fosters developer forums, webinars, and workshops where learner from hype-driven fails are failed. Mitigations, responsible investment practices before funding decisions. Investors should evaluate both technological feasibility and market readiness rather than chasing trends blindly. Long-term support over quick wins, focuses on sustainable business models and product maturity. Risk assessment and due diligence, encourage startups to provide proof of concept, customization, customer transaction, and clear roadmap before heavy funding. Hype in the software. I want to conclude that hype in the software domain is a powerful and persuasive force that has the capacity to accelerate progress and distort reality. At its core, hype emerges from a complex interplay of technological optimism, commercial interests, media amplification, and a deep-seated human desire for breakthrough innovation, where it can serve as a catalyst for investment, collaboration, and innovation. It also brings with a range of consequences that can negatively impact decision making, resource allocation, and the long-term credibility of the software industry. Historically, the software as a domain witnessed repeated cycles of inflated expectations followed by de-illusionment, whether in the rise and fall of technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence, or cloud native architectures. These cycles often refer in terms like Gartner hype cycle, reflect a recurring pattern: initial overestimation of short-term benefits followed by an underestimation of long-term value. During the peak of hype, organizations may rush to adopt immature technologies without adequate reason, assessment, or alignment with the actual business needs. This premature adoption often leads to the failed implements, wasted sources, security vulnerabilities, and loss of trust in both technology and its proponents. Moreover, hype can distort the technology discourse by privileging marketable narratives over technical substance. This can marginalize quieter but more meaningful innovations and mislead to inform speaker stakeholder, including policymakers, investors, and the general public. Engineers may find themselves pressured to integrate hype technologies to their products and for marketing rather than practical reasons, creating technical debt and unsustainable systems. To mitigate the negatively impact of hyped multifaceted approach is required. Organization must foster a cultural critical evaluation where decisions are grounded in empirical evidence. Careful prototyping and rigorous cost benefit analysis, education, and awareness also play a key role. Developers, managers, and stakeholders must be equipped with the tools to distinguish between a genuine innovation and overblown promises. Thought leaders, media, and academic institutions have a responsibility to present balanced perspective and not succumb to sensationalism or industry lobbying. In conclusion, the hype can be an unavoidable part of the software landscape. Its effect need to be detrimental, and its managed thoughtfully can be hyped redirected into a healthy curiosity and structured exploration. The challenge lies in the it not only lies in the eliminating hype together but also cultivating the discipline and discernment to navigate it wisely and balancing optimism with realism, ambition with responsibility. Only then the software domain can sustain genuinely, and it can live with promises as well as potential. So we need a software that can give a promise as well as potential. We require a software that promises potential as well as promise. So let's hopefully end this session. I hope you guys like my topic. I hope you guys like my presentation. Thank you.